Hey guys, it's Jasmine. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a shaker card for Tupelo Designs LLC, and I'm using another one of the Queen & Company card shaker kits. So it comes with the card base, acetate, card front, and foam, and the foam's die cut and so is the card front. So what I do is I start with the card front and I make a template on a piece of cardstock. And that gives me an idea of what's going to show through the front of the shaker card, so I can place my stamps accordingly. So I'm using the MFT, Warm and Fuzzy stamp and die set, and I place my guys in the little windows along with the sentiment. And I just use pencil to draw in my borders, and then that one's easily erasable. And you want to make sure you erase it before you do your Copic coloring, which is what I'm going to do. Otherwise it'll get trapped and it will never come off and it will be there forever. And don't place the acetate cover in your MISTI, because then your stamps get stuck to it and you have to do it again. The joys of stamping. So I've got my three characters, my campfire, and my sentiment in there. And I stamped those in Momento Tuxedo Black. And that is a Copic friendly ink. And I do stamp it twice to make sure I've got nice, clean, bold, black lines. So like I said, I erase my pencil lines before I get coloring. And then I am going to do some Copic coloring, so I'm going to put some music on while I do that, so you don't get bored with me just chatting at you. And I will be back in a minute. So we have all of our Copic coloring done, and now we're going to move on with the shaker part. And I'm going to have all of these specific colors that I use listed in the description box and on my blog post. So don't worry about not knowing what specific colors I used. So I add the foam to the colored base. And now it's time to add some sequins and then the acetate, which I did off camera apparently. So what I did with the card front was use a wood grain stamp. This one is by Tim Holtz. It's well loved and well used, as you can see. And I just stamped that in Versamark. And so I stamp one half because it's not quite wide enough for the whole thing. And then I kind of line it up and stamp the other half. The MISTI makes this so much easier. I'm not sure I could have done it properly without it. And then I use copper metallic embossing powder to heat emboss that. And whenever you're heat embossing, you want to let your gun run for 30 to 60 seconds before you apply it to your paper to avoid warping. The longer you've got heat on your cardstock or paper, the more likely it is to warp, even with higher quality papers. So if it's good and hot, you're good to go. And your paddle will start to melt almost immediately if your gun is hot enough. And I just use tweezers to hold the edge of it so that I don't burn my fingers. And then to make it look like wood, obviously it's wood grain, I use 3 different colors of distress ink to add some brown and red tones to kind of go along with the brownish reds we have in the bear and the fox. So I start with brushed corduroy. And this is a little bit of a glossy finish cardstock in this kit, so the ink does sit on top and take a little bit longer to dry. And you end up seeing my fingerprints in it. But it does look really cool in the end. So, and then gather twigs. And you don't have to use distress inks for this. You can use any brown dye inks you have. I like to layer mine so that I can get a little more depth of color. And you can do that with any brand of dye ink will do it. So then I use Scor-tape on the back of our card front, and I have 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch that I use on the back of that. And I'll peel up 1/2 and stick it down and then take the adhesive off the back or the rest. And then I use 1/2 inch Scor-tape to attach it to the card base. And when you're deciding what shaker bits you want to add, do not use microbeads because there's too much static electricity and they will stick all over the adhesive and ruin it. Because I did that and it wasn't fun. So just a heads up. So the last thing I do for this card, because I felt the front looked a little bit naked, was I added the hugs sentiment and the little sign stamp from the set. and then I Copic colored that and die cut that out, and then attached that with foam dots. And I pressed a little hard on the hugs just to kind of make it look like it was like a wood grain, or I'm sorry, wood burning in the sign. So I thought that turned out pretty cool. And then that finished up the card. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see coming or moving forward. And don't forget to comment and like and subscribe. And thanks for joining me. So I will see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.